What do you do when someone attacks your character? It's amazing to see what people can do, even the people that you are closest to, the people that you really sacrifice for. It could be family or friends, but it could also be, co-workers and colleagues, people that you spend the most time with or care about the most. It's amazing to see how quickly they can turn on you. And 1 minute they're with you, okay, you think you're together on something, you're on the same page, you have each other's back, all is well, and then the next minute it's like the knife comes out and they stab you in the back. It's ridiculous. So again, everybody has their own mindset, but it really is a testament to the fact that it's a dog eat dog world, and everybody is here for their own interest, even at the expense of another. And even though they might be with you today, so long as their stuff is moving forward and they're cool with it, then that's fine. But as soon as, at least from their perspective, as soon as that's at risk to some extent, or at least from their perspective, or they feel threatened by something, it could be you, it could be your character, it could be something you have, it could be your happiness, it could be something from within themselves. Regardless of what it is, that for some reason they might feel threatened, or they might feel like their interest is threatened, and they turn on you. And when they do, it's scary, because you trusted that person, right? You thought that you had each other's back. You thought that no matter what, you're in this together. You struggle together, you win together, you celebrate together, you maybe fail together, in the sense of their losses are your losses, because you feel for them and you care for them and you want them to do well. But all the while, they might not feel the same way about you, but you don't recognize that, you don't realize that, you might not see that that's the case, or understand that they see you in a certain light and it's only temporary. Okay. So again, people are really interesting, and human nature is very, very interesting. Just the way that it unfolds. People are very complex creatures. Just the way that relationships unfold, how they start, how they end, and everything in between. It's quite interesting. I think again, it's hard, because you want to, what they say, you can't do anything really in isolation. You need community, you grow in community, and things like that. That's what they say, at least. And in many cultures, that's the, how do I say, that's the approach to life as well, as doing things in community. Okay, it takes a village, that type of mindset. It's not so much the mindset in the Western society, but it's still very much a reality, and it's still pushed. When they say networking, of course they have a different agenda in mind, but it's the same concept of, you need community to grow in whatever area of life you're trying to grow in. So that being said, there's that aspect, the community mindset, and growing community, you need community, all that. And then you trying to live that out. And then there's this other aspect of, well, community, is a backstabber. So, how do you balance the two? How do you anticipate something like that? Community is jealous. Community is envious of you and your success. Community is threatened by anything that you do well, or at least perceived. community can be malicious at times. At the same time, so community is not always this, happy-go-lucky, let's go by. Yeah, no. Sometimes community is biggest liability to getting anywhere. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful who you choose to be around, how you choose to be around them, and for what purpose you're around them, and how long. Because sometimes, like I said, sometimes you have a beautiful, wonderful relationship within whatever community, family, friends, work, network, whatever, and everything is all is well for a while until you get a little success. So, and by all is well, not only is it going well, but also you're benefiting from that interaction, from those back and forth. So it's not to discount the progress that you have made or you would have made with that person in your life. So sometimes the progress is there and the progress is real, but it gets to a point, where it is no longer beneficial. The person becomes jealous, the person becomes envious, the person is malicious towards you, the person starts, setting you up, and the person starts to turn against you. That person that was once, maybe helpful at some point in time is no longer helpful. It's actually an antagonist in that sense. So you really have to be mindful about who you are around and for how long you're going to be around them. And there's nothing wrong with, when you look at the reality of things, there's nothing wrong with cutting people off. Sometimes you do have to do that in order to preserve the little bit that you have, in order to stay safe, be on the safe side. Again, it's a fine balance. You need community, but be careful with community. So